welcome back then, and as you can see by the loading screen we have set a quali time today. It's on our second account and I don't usually set a quali time, but this time I accidentally crossed the line when I was practicing, and it is quite a good lobby vote, so I'm glad we're not too far up the field as we'll be making for some battles during the race. So as you can see, we're racing at Fuji today. We're all pretty much in the same car in the Nissan. And as you can see, just holding the throttle down, getting rid of any excess fuel, as you do have enough fuel in this race without having to do any fuel saving, and the same with the tyres. You don't really need a pit stop, some people do. But as you're going to see in a few seconds, there's going to be carnage from the start here, as from 14th down everyone has stopped. And so us and two other people, one goes on the grass. Me and them other two cars there got a much better run as we started a little bit further back. But this is never a sight you want to see going down into turn 1. This Vegas 45 on the right hand side, I'm pretty sure he is quite a quick driver and has a main account that he uses. I'm just going to leave it on the outside as I know they're going to all be flying up the inside. As you can see there, we lose a lot of places, but we're not off the track. Not got any penalties. As you see a few people going wide there, it's still carnage. The guy in front's got a 4-second penalty. We're literally just trying to avoid any drama. The moment as the French guy gets very loose and goes flying off. And our main objective here is the Spaniard comes flying at the inside. Our main kind of objective for this race was just to stay conservative, keep on putting the laps in. The chances will come, as it's very easy to make a mistake here, especially in the Group 2 cars. As we're right on the bumper of a Spaniard here, coming through a very technical section. And a bit of a train starting to form. That's probably due to the kind of the start of the race which happened as we died with a few people there, and as Vegas leaves us enough room, and we get on the throttle a little bit too early and we avoid the car. I'm still not quite sure what happened really. I was already full throttle going in, as you can see there, and as we try and avoid him there's a little bit of contact, and as we try to avoid him the rear end just snaps out, and now this basically is a last first challenge, as the French guys thankfully not going to be close enough to go by us. Our tyres now going to be dirty with 6 seconds, 7 seconds. We're going to be behind on lap 1. Still not got any penalties. This is on lap 2. These three Spaniards have been scrapping quite a bit, all got penalties, and we're going to go flying past. And we're back in the race kind of in 15th. Started 17th if you remember. And we're now just going to get our head down and trying to catch up the main pack. We're 20 seconds off the lead, so that's not looking likely. There's another Spaniard on the following lap got a penalty. There's a lot of battles going on in this race, and so if you can find some clean air you will make up a lot of time. As you can see, just trying to be consistent in them 31s or 32s. As the Brit there goes for a move, gets sideways, knocks the Italian off, and that's why you have to be really careful at down into turn 1. And as you can see, it's very easy to make up places here as we go purple in the first sector. Very easy to make up places because of the amount of battles that go on. The Brits on the grass pushing the Italian wide, and the Brit brakes quite early. I wasn't expecting that, and I had to back off a bit, but I do then get the drive out of the corner as we head off down into the final sector. Once again, we're going to have a little look, we're going to back out of it, don't want any contact, as he actually goes back into the back of the Italian there, but we're now all over the back of him. He's gone very defensive, which is going to send him, actually he's held it defensive all the way around, so he's left an open on the inside there, and I'm trying to send up the inside. I think he was defending the first one and I thought he was going to run wide. He ended up just holding the line and going quite slow. I knew he was going to go for a dive bomb up here, and so I just cut back on him. The Italian's gone. I think he's going to be out of slipstream from the Italian, so I think we're just going to have got the better run and just carry on driving past him here. We're going to start edging them over to the side of the track to give us enough room into turn 1. I could sense that he was going to go for that move at this corner just because of what he'd been doing to the Italian. And he's still going to try and go. We thankfully just had our front bumper just there, so we couldn't turn in, and we get the job done. And now it's trying to catch the Italian and try and break away from this Brit, as we don't really want any damage to our race by a dive bomb or anything like that. I think we do have a pace on the Italian. As you can see, everyone's braking very early here. I'm not sure why. There's a lot of runoff out here. You want to be having a nice sweeping line through there. And we're already up into 12th. Bearing in mind we spun on the first lap as well. There's no point looking for a move there. There's a lot of people run wide as he does a little bit there. We're now right on the back of him. A very cool livery, I must say, with the Simpsons on there. Right on the back of him. Previous technical section, it was where I was making up a lot of time on people. Looking for that move on the inside, but he defends it this time. We're just going to stay behind him. Nothing silly at this point. We're pulling away from the Brit as well. And we are catching German, so again I go for the deep line, the cut back to get the drive out. I know the Italian hasn't got any slipstream in front of him to help him along, so if we get the better run out, we're just going to do the exact same move, give him plenty of space coming down into turn 1, and now start edging back over, back across. There's always a tiny little bit of contact as he's still staying in the middle of the road here, but again, heavy on the brakes, down into turn 1. Plant it on the apex, and out we go. Another good move, another clean move. Still not got any penalties in this one. He is right all over our bumper, but thankfully we hit the apex here, go driving out, and now we can really get our head down, get into the top 10 and see how far we can go. This week's race once again is very similar to the last 2 races I've done. I don't think I uploaded the Brands Hatch one on the channel, or the Lagoon Sake one. It's very similar in the sense that you don't have to worry about tyres too much, maybe at the end of the race a bit of tyre wear coming into it, but you don't have to worry about the fuel, and it's a no stop race. For me anyway, unless you wanted to possibly do the one stop and get fresher tyres if you'd had a spin. As we're onto the back of this train now. And again, it's just the battles, these kind of 4-5 cars battling has allowed us to catch up. And the Germ's gone very wide there. And we're just kind of following through it, going very slow out of here. A lot of the guys up front have got penalties. I think Vegas 45 is there again. Like I say, I'm pretty sure he has a main account and is a fairly quick driver. And as they all serve their penalties, we're going to dive to the inside, following the German through. We're going to go past all 3 of them, and so again it's just going to be being careful down into turn 1, although we are getting a brilliant run on the German here, so we're going to go for the move, I think, hitting our braking marker and again just planting it on the apex. We went a little bit wide, but thankfully the German doesn't leap on that chance. And now we've got some real clean air to try and make the time back up to the Brit. We're still 22 seconds off the lead. I feel like I did have quite good pace in this race. Maybe not to catch up to the leaders now, as I think the actual leader, he was very quick. As you can see, set PB there for the race. And we've managed to already gap the German now, which is good to see. And it's just going to be closing down the Brit. As we're going to move on to a bit of a lap guide now, we're in clean air. As we're coming down into turn 1, we're going to be braking where the pit lane line goes straight. Drop it down first, back into second, clip the apex, and out we go. You'll see me doing that a lot during this lap, just to get the extra rotation in the car. On that second brake marker there, we're going to be going down into 3rd gear. On a quali lap, we probably managed to send it in 4th. Here we're just literally letting the car roll through the corner, dropping down to 4th to get the rotation, and again here, heavy braking, get it down to 1st to get the rotation of the car, throw it in there, back up 2nd, and out we drive. Obviously this kind of corner is just flat out. as we're heading down to the heavy braking zone. We're going to be braking on the Dunlop bridge, the Dunlop marker kind of thing above the track there. Down into first again. You can leave it in first or second here and straight line that. Back down in second here to get the rotation. Don't hit that apex too early as it will throw you off to the side there. And again, just down to first, back up to second, hitting the apexes, keeping it nice and tidy through there. And now it's just all about getting a good run out of this last corner. We brake a little early that time and catch a curve. You don't really want to be doing that, as it can affect you all the way down the straight. We still get a better run than the Brit ahead of us, but it is a very long straight, and if you do get the exit wrong, it will hurt you all the way down. So still being fairly consistent, as you can see in the 31s, the odd 32 here, and the odd 33 where we were battling. And unfortunately, there's only 2 laps left, although the Brit has now just made a mistake. We're on the back of him. He has a pretty good pace this whole race, so I didn't think there was going to be a chance here. And he's ran wide again, possibly feeling pressure. We're going to have a look around the outside. Now this guy, he was a very, very good driver. He left plenty of room, we had a right good battle. As you'll see, pretty much side by side, all of the end of this lap. And I'm going to go for the cutback here and get on the power early as we pull out alongside him. And we're just going to be side by side all the way down this straight. Another cool livery. I do like some of these liveries on these cars, they do look good, especially from the off-board cameras. As we're coming down into the heavy braking zone, he's gone defensive. I'm going to try and hang around the outside. We know he's struggling with the tyres, and we just about put it off there. We're still side by side, and now he does something very intelligent. I've got the run on him, he just backs off a little bit to let me back into the racing line, so we're not slowing each other down. But I run a bit deep, expecting him to be there. At the time, I hadn't seen that he had done that. I get all kinds of loose there. I get a penalty for it as well. Thankfully I managed to save it so I didn't destroy my race. And to be honest there, I do apologise for running into the back of him. I didn't cost him anything, I probably gave him a boost if anything. I wasn't expecting him to slow down that much on the apex, just due to the amount of space you've got on the right hand side there to kind of, like I say, take a sweeping line through there. He's ran wide once again though, there is still hope here. I wouldn't say tyre wear for me is really an issue here, as we have another huge moment there. Sends us off into the grass. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I think our tyres just got in the ridges when we were straight lining that corner, and it just sent us flying. Thankfully we held on to it. However, we've now got a half-second penalty. Any chance of fifth has gone now, but we do need to be careful of the Italian behind us. We're coming on to the last lap. He's only 2 seconds behind. It's going to be less than that by the time we served the penalty. And I believe the Italian has actually pitted. Like I say, it wasn't the preferred option for this race. But maybe he had a spin and wanted new tyres or anything. But he has got some good pace now, and is really coming back into this race. If I could hold on to 5th, it would be quite the result, starting 17th in this lobby. As you can see on the radar, he wasn't quite close enough there, but he's definitely got the tyres on us. So as we're going to come through into the middle sector, he's not on the radar just yet. He's appearing now. He's going to make up a lot of time around this corner just due to the fact I believe he had much better tyres than us. And he's going to have a look. I thought he was going to have a look at the inside there. I was expecting it, but he's actually gone a bit wide and he's pushing very hard here. It's the complete opposite of how we usually are. Like this race we've been quite conservative, made the correct moves at correct times. I think he might feel like we're holding him up a bit. And as you can see on the radar, a very, very late lunge there. This is a bit of argy-bargy there. He backs off, but he's going to have another go here as he comes very close to taking us out once again. I don't know whether he was frustrated that he was on better tyres than us and felt like he had more pace. So I just kept a very tight line through there. And you can see how far back he is, but he's going to have one more go at it through this last corner. Thankfully not quite as close that time, as the guy behind him actually gets a move done to him. And what a result this is going to be, from 17th in a bit of a better lobby on the second count. We're really making the count a bit higher DR now, and what other way to finish the race than backwards across the line. Unfortunately we didn't get the personal best there, or the best lap of the race, but can't complain with that. Started 17th, finishing 5th. And so thank you very much for watching once again, and I'll see you next time.